In an equipment yard, a skid steer is loaded onto a trailer using unsecured wooden beams, creating a lateral stability hazard. Never, ever use loose timbers or unsecured rails to load heavy equipment. In an auto repair shop, a technician prepares to guide a SUV onto an alignment rack from directly ahead. Without warning, the vehicle accelerates faster than expected. When a spotter stands directly in the path of travel, commonly referred to as the line of fire, they rely entirely on the driver's reaction time and pedal control. If the driver becomes startled and applies the incorrect pedal, the vehicle covers the remaining distance extremely quickly. The spotter is left with no effective reaction window and may be positioned within a restricted clearance zone between the vehicle and fixed shop structures. Spotters must always position themselves on the driver's side flank, clearly visible in the side mirror and safely outside the vehicle's travel path. On a bridge construction site, a worker walks across stacked steel sheet piles. A small shift in weight causes the stack to move unexpectedly. Under no circumstances should you walk near stacked construction materials. This is a critical, unstable load violation. Sheet piles are often top-heavy and possess a high center of gravity when stored on edge. Without proper chalking or cribbing, they are balanced with minimal resistance to sideways movement. To prevent this, walkways must be completely separated from material storage zones. Material stacks must be properly secured to prevent rolling or lateral movement. On a busy depot roadway, a worker walks in front of a cargo truck, unaware he's in the driver's blind spot as the vehicle starts to move. This demonstrates the blind area reality of high cab trucks. Elevated seating positions and extended dashboards create substantial visual obstructions directly in front of the bumper, often concealing a significant portion of ground space from the operator's view. When you are close enough to touch the grille, you may be completely outside the driver's visible field. Always remain clear of the blind area directly in front of large vehicles. Establish clear eye contact with the driver before crossing. In this woodworking shop, a worker guides a large white panel through a sliding table saw. It contacts the rear of the blade, redirecting the material backward. To prevent this, a properly aligned riving knife or splitter must be installed to keep the cut kerf from closing. Always stand offset from the blade line, never directly behind the material path. Use crosscut sleds, clamps, or supports to stabilize large panels and allow offcuts to separate freely without binding. In this open industrial yard, a worker walks across the tarmac, unaware that a forklift is traveling in the same direction just a short distance away from him. Forklift masts and carried loads create extensive forward blind spots, while general yard noise can mask engine sounds. Maintain constant situational awareness in shared traffic zones. Use designated pedestrian walkways and avoid walking down vehicle travel lanes. Always assume mobile equipment may be operating nearby and maintain visible separation at all times. On a roadside work site, a rigger stands on a flatbed trailer to guide a large concrete panel lifted by a mobile crane. As the load clears the deck, it shifts sideways into his space. Never, ever stand within the swing radius of a suspended load. When an object is lifted, it naturally moves to align its center of gravity beneath the crane's hoist point. If the lift is not perfectly centered, lateral movement occurs immediately, turning the load into a moving mass with limited predictability. Loads must be controlled from a distance using tag lines to maintain separation. Crane operators must ensure the hoist line is vertical before lifting to minimize pendulum motion. In this loading zone, two workers move a manual pallet jack carrying a tall, unsecured stack toward a truck. As they push the pallet, the load loses stability. This demonstrates instability caused by a high center of gravity. Manual pallet jacks have a narrow base of support. When loads are stacked too high without securing straps, even minor tilting moves the center of gravity beyond that base, causing instability to develop quickly. Strap tall loads to the pallet to create a single stable unit before moving. Inspect travel paths for debris or uneven surfaces that could destabilize wheels. Stay clear of the area where the load may settle. If a load begins to lean, step away immediately rather than attempting to stabilize it. In a transport yard in Irani, a worker notices a parked truck beginning to roll forward. Acting on instinct, he attempts to stop the vehicle manually. Never, ever attempt to stop a moving vehicle with your body. This is a critical human-equipment interaction violation. Even at slow speeds, a rolling vehicle carries momentum far beyond human control. By positioning yourself against it, you enter a restricted clearance area where forces increase rapidly as movement continues. Treat spaces between vehicles as restricted areas. If a vehicle begins moving unexpectedly, move clear immediately. Do not attempt physical intervention. Equipment damage can be repaired. Personal safety must always take priority. In a heavy vehicle workshop, a mechanic stands beneath a tilted semi-truck cab to access the engine. He relies only on the hydraulic lift to hold it in place. Hydraulic cylinders are designed to lift, not to hold loads indefinitely. Internal seal bypass or hose issues can allow unintended downward movement. Without a mechanical locking device engaged, the cab is supported only by fluid pressure, allowing gravity to reduce clearance unexpectedly. Always engage the manufacturer's locking bar or safety strut immediately after tilting a cab. If the built-in support is damaged or missing, use approved external stands or cribbing before entering the area. On a drilling rig floor, a crew uses a tugger winch to position heavy iron tongs. As the steel cable comes under high tension, a component releases suddenly. When a steel cable is loaded, it stretches and stores significant mechanical energy, acting like a compressed spring. If a line or connection releases, that stored energy is released immediately. The cable rapidly travels back through the recoil path, creating a high energy zone along its length. Establish a strict exclusion area whenever lines are under tension. Position personnel at a right angle to the direction of pull, never in line with the load. Where possible, substitute steel wire rope with synthetic lines to reduce recoil mass, and remove any cable showing kinks or deformation before it is placed under load. In this busy logistics hub, a worker stands with his back to the active yard, unaware that a large red delivery truck is reversing toward the loading dock. Never, ever disengage from your surroundings in an active vehicle area. This represents an environmental awareness failure. Loading docks are dynamic environments with constant vehicle movement. Turning away from traffic flow significantly reduces situational awareness. Maintain continuous 360-degree awareness in dock areas. Treat the apron like an active roadway. Remain visible, avoid standing with your back to traffic, and confirm vehicle positions before stepping into shared zones. To keep learning from these important workplace safety lessons, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay aware, stay safe.